There is increasing pressure for office landlords to be innovative, to be market thought leaders, to be proactive, and to be creative, which are all great things that Kilroy is proud to be. But the challenge from a tax perspective is figuring out how to align those strategic initiatives with the REIT rules and regulations that were designed to keep REITs operating in specific manners.
Joining me today is Gina Tan, Senior Vice President of Taxes with Kilroy Realty Corporation. Gina, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course.
Now, in your role at Kilroy, what are some of the most frequent challenges you face in the tax space?
You know, it's an interesting question that I feel changes depending on what's going on in the world. 2024 is a challenging but exciting time for Kilroy. Office REITs around the country are still responding to this post-COVID world where tenant needs and tenant expectations have changed a lot in just a span of a few short years. There is increasing pressure for office landlords to be innovative, to be market thought leaders, to be proactive, and to be creative, which are all great things that Kilroy is proud to be. But the challenge from a tax perspective is figuring out how to align those strategic initiatives with the REIT rules and regulations that were designed to keep REITs operating in specific manners. It's very challenging, but also fun.
Now, speaking of the REIT rules, one of those sort of core rules is that REITs must distribute at least 90% of their taxable income as dividends yearly, and most do more. How do you manage this requirement from a tax perspective?
So, in my experience at a seasoned issuer like Kilroy, it really comes down to three things. First, communication. Staying connected with your business teams, asset management, property management, construction development, and of course your corporate teams, accounting, finance, legal. Just making sure that the tax department is always aware of all of the major transactions in the pipeline, and so that we have the information to be able to run projections. At Kilroy, we run them multiple times a year. Second, collaboration with our executive team, using that information that we collected to make sure that as the executive team and the board of directors are making those macro level decisions, that they have the same baseline understanding of where the company will be from a taxable income perspective this year, the next 2, 3, 4 years, making sure we're on the same page. And of course, last but not least, maintaining that knowledge base of all of the tax positions that you've taken at the company, where opportunities might be, and staying in close contact with your advisors to make sure that you're always aware of tax law changes in the pipeline.
And finally, how do you see AI fitting into the tax function now and perhaps into the future?
Very relevant and current question. Technology in just the past couple of decades have done a lot for our profession. Automation has been huge in just the past few years, where you can take raw data and have computers turn them into organized data for you. Now we have machine learning in the mix, and a lot remains to be seen, but the immediate point of entry would likely be in taking that data, putting them in organized information, and then taking that and really providing end users of this information with the ability to make the judgment calls that are needed in our industry.